Hello out there. This is Eric speaking on behalf of the entire FUELL team. We really want to thank the FLLOW community to start out with, for those who have supported us and in fact already put deposits in on the new FLLOW. Thousands of those orders. The other thing that's tremendously exciting is the coverage we've gotten from the media. They are really fired up about this design, and it makes us feel great because we thought we had really nailed something that was going to be important, and we're seeing that you all agree with us. But I know some folks are a little concerned about the lead time, to put a deposit down and get it for 18 months. But 18 months is needed, as much as we'd like to get it out sooner. There's a process we have to follow to get a great quality product out. And we've developed that process for many years. We started it when all of us here at FUELL were at the Buell division of Harley. And at that time, we decided we needed to come up with a process that would develop new and innovative products with high quality in a short period of time. And we follow that process. And when we were part of Buell, the products there had the highest J.D. Power quality numbers of any products in the Harley-Davidson family. So it really works. And we're going to use that same stuff to deliver FLLOW to you. So the development process we are going to use at FUELL on the FLLOW is, well, we call it a 5-step process internally, but really it's 7. And let me explain why that is. The first step is actually the features and specifications. And that's really knowing what the customer is going to want, what the duty cycle is going to be, all the sorts of things that the finished product needs to do. Before we start defining the actual engineering or the specifications of it, we need to know in advance what it's supposed to do. So this is not just engineers throwing out ideas. This is engineers going to be targeted at something that you want. The next step is we do a concept. And the concept can be usually a number of them. Some pretty wild and different things that we can consider that could do the job. Once we've picked the best of those concepts, we look at it and we decide if there's anything that needs what we call proof of concept, which is then this third stage. And that's something that's so radically different that hasn't been done before that we need to put special emphasis on it. The next phase we have is the product definition phase. And that's when we start defining the actual engineering specifications for the components on the product. And this is actually a really important phase because there's a lot of things that go into that. And they'll be carried through the whole process, but we start really defining them then. And that is design for sourcing, design for assembly, and design for service. All those things need to be thought about on the product, on every component on it ahead of time. Design for sourcing means we need to design something that the supplier who's going to make the part for us can easily do. Because if you want quality, you've got to know that the supplier will be able to do that easily. And if you don't have that, you either have to change a part or you have to change a supplier, because there's always a bell curve of quality and you want to be in that narrow part of it. So that design for sourcing is a very important piece. Obviously design for assembly, or they call it sometimes design for manufacturing. That's important, that it can be put together right every time. And then finally, service. Out in the field, things need to be serviced. How easy is it for a mechanic to do? So all those things come in the product definition phase. So the 5th step of the 7 is the development durability testing. And that's testing the components individually, also on prototype vehicles. And depending on how much it needs to be done, sometimes we're doing it, start very early in a lab, but that's a very important thing for us to do, is do the durability work that time. Now, when we try to have the parts as close to production process as possible. In some cases, that's not the case, but what we do then, if we can't use that process, we use a prototyping process that's as close as possible in material qualities and everything else as the final production version will be. And all these things are going on in parallel. Some are ahead of another, depending on the risk level of them. Then the 6th stage is what we call the validation phase. And that's when we have everything out of the production process. And then we run the vehicles for durability mileage. We do further lab tests, all those sorts of things. The 7th stage is production. And the reason I include the bookends on the 5 stages is both of those are very important because once again, as I said early on, we need to design for production, not just for a concept vehicle, not for something that's fun and cool for engineering people to think about. It's got to be producible on the line every day with high quality every time. So as you heard there's quite a few steps to the process. They're all important. We know how to do them. We've done them before. And the end result is going to be a very high quality product. Well, thank you for your time in hearing a little bit about our process. Appreciate it. As engineers, I hope it wasn't too geeky, but it's all important to you in the end. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for your commitment to FUELL, and keep in touch with us. We're going to do a lot of videos. We want to stay connected through this process so you see it happen, you see it unfold on the way to getting your new motorcycle. Because this is an important deal. We are moving into the future. Electric is the future. We have to go there. We believe this product we're doing is going to be an important piece of getting people to accept that and embrace that. I am super excited about the future that we're headed towards and glad to be part of it. Thank you all.